If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. Action-packed hour coming up. The owner, CEO of Circa Las Vegas, Derek Stevens, on the program coming up in 30 minutes. Here we begin the hour talking NHL playoffs as VSiN's NHL betting analyst Jonathan Davis joins the program now. His write-ups are daily on the site, vsin.com. You can follow him on X. He is at West Coast HKY. Jonathan, good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm doing great, guys. It's been just a great run here in the Cup, and I've got my Canada Olympic jersey here, and hey, they got a shot to finally win a Cup. Yeah, we got 3 teams left.
Yeah? Okay, we'll get into that coming up in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So the one Canadian team that played already, that was last night, the Maple Leafs, got the job done in Game 1. Awesome finish to that game. However, they did it late without their starting goalie as Stolarz was hurt, and it was not pretty. Eventually, he was vomiting on the bench, and clearly that's like a sign of a major concussion. And I think that, to me, the Maple Leafs would not be bettable moving forward with Woll. I like Stolarz much more than I like Woll. Anyway, what are you hearing about him coming back to play in this game, and where are you at with the series price based on that injury?
Well, I heard that Stolarz was back with the team today, and Craig Berube did not rule him out for Game 2. I don't know how he could play Game 2, but I'm a big Joseph Woll fan. I think that, Woll for a number of years I felt was their best goalie in the organization until Stolarz came in. So I thought Woll was fine for a guy who didn't play in 18 days last night. Don't really put the blame on him for the 2 goals. But they are definitely better with Stolarz. Florida plus money right now is worth a shot.
Was that dirty? And should Bennett be suspended? Maple Leafs pointing out he has a history. Berube was livid.
I don't think he should be suspended. Here's the way I look at it. One, no one noticed it when it happened. It was about 10 minutes after the incident that Stolarz pulled himself out. You only saw it, when you see it on replay, it doesn't look great. It is sneaky dirty. But here's the thing. George Parros, who's the head of player safety and a guy that made his living dropping the mitts, he works more on the act than the result. So based upon the act, we're not even clear if it was the elbow that caused the concussion. Stolarz took a slap shot to the noggin earlier in the game. Mm-hmm. It's possible that the 2 combined plays, very much like what happened with Mark Scheifele in the Winnipeg St. Louis series. We're not sure which hit of the 3 or 4 that Scheifele took in the game that eventually knocked him out. So I'm fine with no suspension.
Okay. They were great in the first 2 periods. Let's say it is going to be Woll. What do you think of Florida in Game 2 and then moving forward here with the series price with Florida against Toronto?
Well, look, I went into it with Florida minus 1.5 games. So I'll stick with that. I like Florida at plus money. There's no question that the Leafs are a far different team than they've been in years past. I don't think we got the best out of Florida in game number 1. I think that they were kind of caught off guard, outshot 12-4 in the first period. I'm going to continue to target, the first period over and the full game over until there's a reason to stop. So That's generally how I'm going to approach this game. I would come back with Florida to win Game 2, just because I thought at worst they would get a split, and they still have an opportunity to do so.
All right. Now look at this. Game 1 that we have tonight, Hurricanes and the Capitals. And here at Circa, Carolina's $1.35 for Game 1. The series price is now $2.
Wow.
Plus 175 on the Capitals. Your thoughts on that, Jonathan?
Yeah, the Capitals definitely are the Rodney Dangerfields of the NHL. There's no question. I mean, look, all 4 games during the regular season, including the 2 in Washington between Carolina and Washington, Carolina was a favorite. They were a $1.55 favorite in both regular season games in Washington. They lost both of them. One was 5-4. one was 3-1. For me, it's Capitals or bust. It's really, I'm sorry, it's Capitals or no play if you're going to take a side. I know, Pauly, you think you were on the under in this one.
Yeah.
I like the first period over, and I like the full game over. I find that, when you've got teams that are a little rusty, both these teams have been off for a while. I think it's a little sloppy at the beginning. I think we see goals in this one. So I would target the first period over and full game over. And if you want to get creative, I know some places, will offer a same game parlay of first period over 1.5 and a full game at over 5.5. If you want to have a little bit of fun.
So Carolina was number one in shot attempts in 5-on-5 by a big margin, and number one in the playoffs with time in the offensive zone. So they're so good 5-on-5 and such a good talented team. What can happen then with special teams? Because we saw what Montreal's power play did to Washington, and their kill was 13th out of 16th in the playoffs. So if I have a bad kill and Carolina scores on the power play, and we know they have the number one kill, and if they can't get Ovechkin going on the power play, then maybe this is a short series. Do you think about it that way?
I don't, because when you look at round one between the Devils and the Hurricanes, New Jersey actually outscored Carolina 10-9, 5-on-5, despite the fact that New Jersey was missing 3 of their top defensemen. The Carolina Hurricanes are really good at spending time in the opposition zone and really not doing a lot with it. So I'm not concerned about that. I look back at the regular season. The Caps, I think, were 4 for 13 on the power play against Carolina in the 4 games. They scored 2 power play goals in their final meeting between the two. So, Carolina being a perfect, 15 or 12 for 12 on the kill against New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, New Jersey didn't have their full complement of players. So I don't take a lot of stock in that. I just think that the goaltending is better in Washington. I'll call it maybe the blue line a wash. And the Capitals have more game breakers. That's the one thing that Carolina doesn't have, guys. They don't have game breakers on this team. Andrei Svechnikov led them with 5 goals in the first round. He has to do something similar to that in round number 2. But I don't think that there's an answer that Washington has, or I'm sorry, that Carolina has, guys, for Tom Wilson.
All right, so I am looking at your story today, right now, at VSiN.com. I just tweeted it out at Mitch Moss Radio as well. You have 12 bets on the game tonight. 12. I love it. You're a volume better. But you just mentioned Tom Wilson. You don't have a bet here on him.
I don't have a bet on him. No, that's true. But I think from a physical presence, they don't have an answer for him. Like, I'm not saying that he's going to score 2 or 3 goals. I like a guy like Connor McMichael of the Capitals. I think this is a guy that's built for the playoffs. He had 3 goals in round number 1. He's a guy that cashed his shots on goal prop in 4 of the 5 games in round number 1.
All right.
But I think that, so I just saying, look, what the hit that Tom Wilson had on Alexander Carrier in game number 4, I think it was, against Montreal, turned that series around. And so that's where I think that Wilson, will have a great effect. But yeah, volume plays, small plays, but I'm the shots on goal props. I took 2 guys lower down in the totem pole, but 2 guys that have routinely cashed that number through the playoffs. McMichael also cashed that he had, I think, at least 2 shots on goal in 3 of the 4 games against Carolina in the regular season.
All right, read his article, VSiN.com. Again, first period over, game over. McMichael props, and check out all the props that he has, a plethora of them, on the game tonight, game 1, Carolina and Washington.
Pauly, no grade 8 props from Jonathan Davis.
No what?
No grade 8. He doesn't have anything on Ovechkin tonight.
I know. I couldn't believe that. I know. That was surprising. Well, you're not going to find it. You're not going to get it. So 2 years ago, Vegas wins in 6. You have a good a quote here from McDavid, which we'll share coming up. But Vegas has won 42 in a row in the playoffs when they score at least 3 goals. How's Edmonton going to hold them under 3, right?
Yeah, I don't know how they do it with Calvin Pickard. I mean, look, Pickard's, won 4 straight games to knock out the LA Kings, but he gave up at least 3 goals in 3 of the 4 games. So, he's not, this guy is not the second coming of Patrick Waugh, Marty Brodeur, Mike Richter. Find an outstanding goalie. He's beatable. So look, if you like Edmonton tonight, I would even target Edmonton. I would target Vegas team total then under, go under 3. I think at BetMGM they offer an under 3. Mm-hmm. So that's why I would target with Edmonton. I just think that, Vegas is better in goal. You've got Aiden Hill, who's given up 2 goals or less In 12 of his 24 playoff starts, he's had a save percentage of over 900 in 18 of 24 starts. Better goalies there. The better blue lines in Edmonton. How are they going to shut down McDavid and Draisaitl? Pauly, you talked about it earlier in the show, how Vegas struggled with Kaprizov and Boldy. But I want to remind people that when Bruce Cassidy made the adjustment in Game 5 to put Stone, Eichel, and Karlsson together, his three best defensive forwards, they shut down Boldy and Kaprizov. I think they held them to 2 power play points.
What did you just a crazy series against LA? So what did you like and what would cause for concern, 90 seconds left here, about what happened with Edmonton winning in 6 but being down 2-0 and the 4 wins were all comeback wins?
Well, yeah, okay, so quickly, I mean, look, LA could have easily swept that series.
That's true.
You know, this was more about the Kings deciding to play like 9 forwards and 4.5 defensemen, and that just killed them. So, but give credit. I mean, Edmonton's depth came to the forefront in that series, and it'll help them in this series this time around because, you know, the last 2 games for Edmonton, McDavid and Draisaitl were held to 3 assists. 2 of those assists came on an empty net goal. So the support players in Edmonton up front, guys like Evander Kane, who I know Mitch and I are both high on for shots on goal, you know, those are guys that had a big series for Edmonton down the stretch.
Okay.
Got 12 plays on this game, too.
24 play. I love it.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
The props.
Here you go. Let's go to war.
Yep.
And by the way, again, and I pointed this out last week, and based on following Jonathan on X, you gave out, and I hit a plus 190 live bet, and I also hit a plus 488 when I tailed you just by following you on Twitter the other day.
You know, I think it's great live props. You know, you guys do your own in-game props for baseball and other sports, and I just think that, look, if I'm going to do it, I want to share it with people, and if I lose, I lose. But there's no hiding behind it, and you're really looking for, you know, how the pace of the game is changing. So that's where you want to jump in on some totals live as well.
We'll continue here, Jonathan Davis. I'm going to the game tonight. I have to get his best bet on the VGK Oilers game.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We continue talking NHL playoffs. VSiN's NHL betting analyst, Jonathan Davis, on the program here. Progressive guest line. You can follow him on X. He's at West Coast HKY. Again, he puts out his live bets during these games as well. All right, so a friend reached out to me over the weekend and said, hey, I got tickets, games 1 and 2. He has season tickets. He's like, any interest in going? I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty good to me, actually. So I'm going to the game tonight, game 1 here in Las Vegas. Golden Knights taking on the Oilers.
Hey, Steve.
Again, you have 12 bets on the game tonight. They're all up at VSiN.com. Give me 1 or 2 that you think maybe your favorite bets that I have to make when I go to this game.
I like the first period over. I mean, you guys, addressed it 6-0. Vegas was in round number 1. I think that, it's a different. I know Edmonton was only 2-4, but I think that's more of a reflection on LA than it was Vegas. So I love the first period over. And if I had to make a second one, it's between Evander Kane over 2.5 shots on goal. I got that at plus money. Or maybe Shea Theodore over 2.5 shots as well at plus money.
Okay.
What's the highest juice you'll lay? Let's have this discussion again. Go back. We started with Adrian Kempe with the Kings because he went over 14 of 15 in playoff games against the Oilers, and he got sky high up there with the juice. How important is that half a shot or that other shot? Like, because McDavid, Draisaitl, Stone, Eichel, you're seeing like $1.90, $1.80 juice on their props.
It's tough because, look, it's going to be different this year because of the fact that it's going to be, for now, Eichel, Stone, and Karlsson on the McDavid line. I would actually look more towards Corey Perry than McDavid and Draisaitl for props because he could be the forgotten man on that line. And so I don't know. I'm going to be cautious until I need to see what happens in game one and how Vegas approaches it and what they can do, because it's a different beast than what Edmonton's had to face against Vegas in any other game.
Okay. And you have your Canada jersey on. Do you recommend the plus 195 to win the cup?
Yeah, because I think that Toronto has a legit shot at getting through. Put it this way, I would rank Toronto, Edmonton, and then Winnipeg because of their injuries in that order. I just think that it's easier to come out of the East than it is the West. So, Toronto's got a legit shot. Look, I had said to you guys before the playoffs, Toronto Vegas was my prediction for the Cup final. Toronto more so on the value, but yeah, I think it's worth a shot at plus 195.
Well, here's what you really want to happen. Obviously, you want the Oilers to win their series against VGK. And then you need the Jets, the President's Trophy winning team out of Winnipeg, to beat the Stars. And what do you see now in Dallas, Pauly? Minus 170 to win the series?
Oh.
So what do you think of that number?
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, Winnipeg is battered and bruised. No Mark Scheifele, it looks like, for at least game number one. Hurt, didn't play game 6, didn't play game 7. Believe it's a concussion in a non-contact jersey today at practice. Also, their number one defenseman, Josh Morrissey, who left game 1 in the first period, he was in a non-contact jersey as well today. So that would indicate that he's not going to play. That's 2 huge losses. Morrissey especially. And look, Winnipeg, prior to that miraculous comeback against Dallas, against St. Louis in game 7, they were 1-6 without Mark Scheifele in the lineup. And all 6 losses, they had scored 2 goals or less. I just don't know if they can catch lightning in a bottle twice against the Dallas team that's going to get back, their best defenseman in Miro Heiskanen and their leading goal scorer in Jason Robertson. It's a very tall task for Winnipeg.
I'll tell you what, Blues future holders, right, bettors, they have to just be in a state of depression after that, because I think this was it opened up for them. They were absolutely live here.
Yeah, no, it was nauseating. I mean, phenomenal comeback. Great for the people in Winnipeg. Look, no offense, there's just not a lot to do in Winnipeg. That city needs it more than a lot of other cities. So I'm happy for them. But yeah, look, for a guy that had St. Louis in game number 7, it was very disappointing. Yeah.
So you put me on Dallas. It's big with the Scheifele injury, and also who's coming back for Dallas. And everyone picked Colorado. Yeah, and they were wrong too. But like Mitch said yesterday, these guys won the President's Trophy and had the best record, and they have home ice. So now is it too much disrespect here with the series price? And then we have to talk about, to tie this into Mr. Hellebuck, which goals allowed in the final minute of a period, regular season, 4 the whole year, playoffs, 4. St. Louis team total over 6 of the 7 games. Dallas team total game 1, 2.5. He was pulled in all 3 road games. How do we attack it to fade Hellebuck and do Dallas team props as well?
Well, yeah, look, Paul, you just kind of laid it out. Dallas team total over 2.5. I mean, he gave up at least 3 goals in 6 of the 7 games. I mean, look, he exercised one demon. He got Winnipeg out of round number 1. But he got, and he got better as the game went on. I mean, look, there was many thought he was going to be pulled after they were down 2-0. But look, at the end of the day, he still gave up 3. So from a betting standpoint, and that's all we're concerned about, why not? You should be. I'd be targeting the over 2.5, and add into the fact that they are missing their best defenseman, Josh Morrissey. So now everybody's got to move up the ladder, and play a higher role. Like Neil Pionk, their number 2 defenseman, played 43 minutes in game number 7. It was remarkable. He's never, guys are now going to take a bigger role. I just think over a long series with a Dallas team as deep as they are, the over 2.5 is the way to go. And hey, I mean, I would rather play that than a money line on Dallas. I feel much more confident in the team total over 2.5.
All right. So it's going to be Dallas and VGK then, in your opinion, to go to the Stanley Cup final?
Yeah, I think that those will be the 2 teams from the West. Yes.
Okay.
Now, the other thing, by the way, Pete DeBoer, 9-0 in game 7s. He's 0-8 in game 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is wild.
How about that?
Not bad. Good info.
Yeah.
Boy,
so
is that
team
bizarre.
total, I'd rather go with.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Significant juice in some spots, but that's the way to attack it until Hellebuck can get his act together. That's a good point. There was a chance they could have pulled him right off the bat. He gives up a goal a minute into the game.
I kind of expected it, actually.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, again.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, Jonathan. Awesome. That was terrific.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the games. Good luck with the bets tonight.
Mitch, you enjoy the game. I'm very jealous. Have a great time tonight. Best place to watch hockey.
Thank you. Yep, there you go.
Good job.
You join us on the Progressive Guest Line. And again, we talked about some of the bets. He has 12 bets on each game. Volume better. That's the way he approaches it. And he explains what he's betting. They're all up at VSiN.com. He puts it out every single day.
I like Colorado. I enjoy watching them play. They're fun. I was relishing Hellebuck against Colorado.
Oh, that would have been.
Oh, my God.
Can
you know
imagine?
what happened? You know what happened last year? He allowed 5, 4, 5, 4, and 6.
What do you think
they
the
lost
team
in 5?
would the team total have been 4.5 for Colorado and playing at home? I mean, especially after if
at the St. Louis thing, yeah.
Imagine in game 3 they get 7. It's like, okay, now what do we do with the team total here?
I know.
We're not making it 3. We can't make it 3.5.
I like this though, where it's like you're dead. You're not supposed to be here. You got a second life, second chance. No one's picking you. You had the best record in the league. You started 14-1. Okay, you got a couple injuries, but still you have home ice, and you're taking on a team that people were urinating on 2 weeks ago.
Well, I'm almost confused which team you're talking about. Not fully here, but are you talking about the Capitals or are you talking about the Jets?
About the Jets.
No, I know that, but that's the thing, right?
The series price, I know.
Carolina's $2.
What do they have? Yeah. What did Washington have? Like 116 points, whatever it was?
111.
Right? Yeah, okay,
So
111.
think about this for a second. Had the Jets lost to the Blues in regulation, and they were a massive, favorite to lose that game or a dog to win. Depends on how you want to say it. If they lost that game, Capitals had home ice throughout. That's it. Nobody had more points than them.
Yeah.
Other than Winnipeg. So, and now they're catching plus 175. They here at Circa, they take a lot of short money. They just keep taking money on Carolina. And think about this.
Well,
Jeff Davis here.
Jeff Davis is the president of the Carolina fan club. He loves them. He's sky high
That's
on
true,
that rating. But
that's probably not him just moving it because he has an opinion on it, So
they were 60 cents higher on the first round series price though than all the other places. So I would think that's what he has their power rating sky high. So, but I
you know what he opened them up here for this series? Was it $1.60?
I don't recall.
Okay.
But I think I got a shot here with Thompson. And you know about the history of Anderson and Carolina's goaltending.
Yeah.
Can you trust him in road games, too?
Now, I did tail Jeff when he gave out Carolina 5-1 to win the East a couple weeks ago back with us. He said the number doesn't make any sense. We're starting to see that now as a $2 favorite here. I'm not going to come back. It's not enough money for it to come back and play Washington plus 175 on the series.
Yeah.
It isn't. So.
What if Davis hits the exacta? What a Stanley Cup final that
Toronto
would be.
and
Yeah.
BGK?
They must hate us. They haven't won a cup since 67 if Vegas go back.
Do you know what the crowds would be like here in Las Vegas with the amount of people traveling from Toronto?
Good point, because you're priced out.
And they would be willing to pay, for sure. Derek Stevens joins the program up next, owner of Circa Las Vegas. What were the betting results like last night with both dogs shocking the world in the NBA?
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Every Tuesday at this time, the owner and the CEO of Circa Las Vegas, Derek Stevens, takes time out of his very busy schedule to pop on with us for a full segment. Good to see you again. How are you today?
Good. How you doing, fellas?
Doing well.
Good, sir.
Game 1 tonight here in Las Vegas. Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers. You going to go?
Yes, I am. I'll be right there behind the glass.
Nice. Maybe we can have a cocktail in between periods. I'm going to head out there as soon as I'm done with the show here today.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can catch up with you.
Okay.
Perfect.
How about game 1's last night, NBA playoffs, with both dogs winning like that? You guys take monster parlays sometimes, usually on favorites to win. How about let's reverse it here? Did anybody have a significant bet on both dogs to win outright on a parlay last night?
No. We ended up we weren't sweating that out actually. We would have preferred favorite winning, but not covered. But overall, no, we were okay. We were all right.
Okay. Nothing dinged you last night with those results.
Not yesterday. We got dinged pretty hard on May 1st. That was a big one. But no, we were okay. Everything was pretty good. Volume's been okay, so it was all right.
All right. NBA handle still dwarfing NHL handle overall in the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely the case. Some good series in the NBA. I mean, exciting basketball. I mean, the Knicks Pistons thing was great. I mean, Knicks coming right back yesterday is amazing. So yeah, a lot of exciting basketball in NBA.
How was the Derby?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. I mean, I actually think I was on a group text with our officers. I might have been the most amount of people that were ever inside this building. I don't know how that happened, but I tried to get over like
more than the Tyson fight.
This was more than any. This was. I don't know what happened, but maybe it got windy outside too. But people piled in, and it was like 15 deep. I couldn't even come close to where I'm usually sitting. I was out near like past the crap game, watching the race. So it was fun.
Unbelievable.
A lot of energy.
Ratings. I couldn't believe the ratings.
I didn't even see how
like best since the late 80s or something.
Wow, really?
I couldn't believe it.
First of all, it was a great race.
Yeah.
By the way, tip of the cap to you guys too. What you did at Legacy Club, for those that don't know, way up top here, 36th floor.
Yeah, 60.
Is that where it is? So my wife is in something called Junior League here in town with a bunch of her friends, right? And they always have something called May Luncheon. It's always on Derby Day, right? A lot of women across the city, Dignity, whatever. They're all involved. This is how popular and how much attention Legacy Club was getting. She had a bunch of friends show up, but they left like as soon as they possibly could to get down here and go to that event that you guys had, and they said it was incredible.
Yeah, that Kentucky Derby party is now taking an energy of its own. I mean, everybody's dressed up. You wouldn't believe the outfits. I mean, I would put the outfits up there against anything you see on NBC. I mean, it was unbelievable. The women and men are dressed up to epic levels. I mean, it was the finest looking crowd I've seen in a long time.
You ever take a bad beat with a wardrobe? Not like a wardrobe malfunction, but you encountered like the Derby. How many people ruin their shoes with what happened in the slop, in the mud, in the rain?
I mean, if this is the first time you went to the Derby, wouldn't you feel a little like, oh God, you went to a pouring rain event and everything? But then you just got to enjoy it and just say, "Yeah, to hell with it."
Give me another mint julep.
Give me another drink. Of course, I've had situations like that. You go to a big heavyweight fight 20 years ago, get a little mustard on.
Really?
Yeah. Those types. Yeah, you get a bad beater. You get over it.
Yeah. Great job with the teaser. Who came up with the Batman idea? And last check, as you're going to announce your contest in a couple weeks here, 1.3 million views.
Yeah, the views. That's crazy. I don't know how that happened. We put it out on a Friday, and they always tell you don't put stuff out on Friday because no one's going to pay attention. Uh-huh. I think maybe this is the countervail. Like, this is the countervailing. We put it on a Friday. It must have been a slow news day because it got picked up pretty good. Who came up with the idea? One of our marketing companies that we work with pitched us a few ideas. And they had this idea, and I kind of liked it, and I thought, oh man, Mike Palm would be perfect to hold the big lights, and I thought that'd be great. So it kind of went down that path. He did a good job.
It's a great ad.
So what are you guys thinking now? Because you're going to announce the details coming up in a few weeks here, right on the show, May 22nd. Mark your calendars. That's Pauly and I don't even know. We're going to go in fresh that day. You guys won't tell anybody. Very tight-lipped with this. Conversations with like other people here, obviously at Circa, proxies who know a lot of stuff here that you obviously want to know. Okay, so what are you thinking for a number?
Well, I would tell you, I just got out of a meeting talking about that. We're talking about some apparel and things like that, and I had to clear my office. And I was like, well, how come? Well, because we're going to surprise everybody. Even most of the people that work here are going to get surprised 2 weeks from today. There's a very, very, very close inner circle that kind of know what we got up our sleeve. But this is a little different this year.
A little different.
Is there a penalty if it leaks? Big trouble?
I mean, that's why I'm keeping it pretty tight.
All right.
How many people know the details?
All the details?
Yeah.
5.
That's it?
5.
Yes. Pretty hard to keep it that tight when you got to have all these different departments involved. So, yeah.
What's the secret sauce to having somebody leak? Would it be a little
Well, yeah, it could be the drinking. It could be. I mean, a lot of things leak when there's drinking going on.
Yeah.
How you feeling about the 20,000 talk? That you didn't like it? I mean,
I don't know. God, that's so crazy. I think about if yeah, I mean, we went up $5 million last year. It was pretty cool. So I don't know. Economy's not as good. I don't know. I mean, if we could do a little bit better than last year, I'd be happy.
Okay. All right.
I like that. I like that.
What are your thoughts on game?
Hold on. I'm sorry. What about the new documentary?
Oh, yeah. That's going to be coming out again as well. I think they're going to spread it out this year because it's a lot more episodes. I think we're going to release like 5 episodes, like right around that week of the Hall of Fame game. And then the final 5 episodes will probably be the 3rd or 4th week of August. So yeah, it should be the documentary is going to be something full. I think it's going to be a full 10 episodes.
Really?
Year.
And that's going to be just the quest for 14.2 million.
The quest for 14.2. That's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, Pauly, cut you off.
Excellent. No, what are you thinking on first? The watch party was phenomenal, which you had when Vegas got it done on the road. Good timing with the Game 6. And then what do you expect this series and then tonight with the start of Game 1 against Edmonton?
Oh, I mean, how much fun is this going to be? I mean,
on paper, it could be great.
this is going to be exciting. I love seeing all these people from Edmonton showing up here. I mean, there's going to be a decent Edmonton crowd at the game tonight. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting to have this team come in. I think we're going to see a shootout. There's going to be some great hockey.
When you go to a game in person, and you said you're going to be behind the glass tonight for Game 1, do you feel obligated to have a bet on that game? Doesn't matter what sport, doesn't matter what city. Do you make a bet when you go?
You know, a lot of times people got to understand, I got to bet on everything. I wake up and I'm betting. I have to turn my phone on like, okay, I need this. You know what I mean? I wouldn't know what to do if I didn't have a bet on something. And sometimes I don't even make the bet. You know, when you're in the bookmaking side, you get told what you're rooting for. So
that's true.
I got a bet on everything.
Okay.
So I don't even know. I don't even know what it would be like not to have a bet on it. Like, I mean, I don't know. I really don't.
He's right. You go to the game, you got to bet the goal in the first 10 or the first period over.
Oh, I have to have a bet on it. When I go in person, I have to have a bet.
I will tell you one thing I do like is we're taking some new customers tonight that have never been on the glass before. I know they're going to have a bet on it. I love being with some new customers that have never sat on the glass. Like the little funny stuff. You know, you guys sit there. You put your beer up there, and the first check, the beer goes flying. Sure. Tell them, don't put your beer up there. It's gonna it won't. It'll be boom. Then it goes, and then like just the way people are into it. I mean, those seats are just so unbelievable that I love going with people that haven't been in a situation like that because they're just a lot of fun. They're like going with little kids. I love it.
I don't know how their minds aren't blowing. It has to be.
Yeah, it's cool.
This is going fast. Get in now. All in package, CircaLasVegas.com. Here at Circa, the ultimate getaway, $400. 2-night stay at Circa, $100 dining credit, $100 beverage credit, and your own day bed at Stadium Swim where the party never stops. Say hi to Taryn and Sydney. All for $400, resort fees and taxes included. Limited time offer between May 26th and September 4th. Lock it in, the all-in summer package. CircaLasVegas.com and also CircaLasVegas.com. Wherever you want for your needs with Book the Cabana or anything in the sports book and your rooms. But you got to take advantage of this with the all-in summer hotel package. CircaLasVegas.com. Get it now.
Derek, you buying the A's success this year?
Yeah.
With a win a possible playoff team?
Yeah, I mean, I think I probably came on here. I that's one of the teams that I put out there in my over on the win totals. That was one of my bigger plays. I definitely love him. I know Mason Miller blew up the other day, but boy, that kid is a hell of a relief pitcher. I like this team a lot.
They have done quite the 180 since 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
And now they're on pace. If they actually do, move here in 2028, if that's going to be still the play, they're on pace now to suddenly look like a pretty decent team coming here to Las Vegas.
You see, they just signed a TV contract. They're going to have a bunch of games on TV locally here, so they're making the moves. It's all good. No, I like the A's the way they've been playing. Hey, just so you know, in the series, take a guess of who the house needs. We need Edmonton. What do we need tonight? We need Edmonton.
Yeah.
And what else do we need? We need the under. Pretty straightforward.
Enjoy the game tonight.
All right.
Have fun. Might see you over there. There you go. Derek Stevens, owner of this property. Book your stay here, right? And then you can sign up. Circa Las Vegas, sign up for all the contests. In-pocket plays coming up next here on Follow the Money.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The guy has an algorithm to determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
All right. Winner last night, Alonso over total bases. He goes deep. His second at bat. No problem there, as the Polar Bear has been on fire the whole season. I wouldn't come right back with him tonight against Gallen. Pacers to win the East 19-1. Pacers plus 2.5 games. Big news in 2 minutes on that. Celtics minus 2.5. Nothing's changed. Celtics in 5. Don't worry about it. Missed 45 threes. Incredible. Tatum, most points in the series, minus 125. All the pending. And then the new. Curry to have the most threes in the Minnesota series, minus $1.60. Freddie Freeman, over 1.5 total bases. We ran down those numbers several times on the show. Total ownage of Quantrill, and he is on fire. And he had a base hit in his first at-bat. That was a 340 start, already 1-0 Dodgers. That's off to a good start. 6 straight overs first period for Vegas. Right back with the first period over tonight against Edmonton in Game 1. Panthers to win in regulation tomorrow, Game 2. Plus 120, plus 115, depends where you shop. I can't imagine Stolar. It's an abomination if that guy plays tomorrow. Everyone should be ashamed of themselves what happened. Guy takes an elbow to the head and no one sees it. Minutes later, he's vomiting on the bench. Right to the ambulance. And Stars minus 1.5 games against the Jets. JD, Jonathan Davis, talked me into it. They beat Colorado. They get 2 of their better players back. Scheifele's hurt. And you got Hellebuck, who can't stop a beach ball. Well, I'll give him credit. He hung in there after the third one, late in the second period, and they survived St. Louis. Good luck.
All right. Tatum over 27.5. No good. 13 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Feeling pretty decent at that time. And then he turns into a version of what he thinks is Steph Curry. I don't know. The whole shot selection last night was an abomination by Boston.
The fourth quarter in particular.
I hope they get that corrected. I can't.
What are you doing?
But I'm not confident that they will. I think they're going to come out and shoot 53s again in Game 2. Rodon under 5.5 strikeouts. Got what I wanted last night. Got delays in the game. Kept bringing him back out. And still stayed under 5.5. Padres came back to win the game, and they're very good against left-handed pitchers overall and not really striking out. Pending Tigers' most wins in May, 16-1. Their game postponed today, and I had a bet on them in the first 5 against the Rockies. As for tonight, Freddie Freeman over 1.5 total bases like you, minus 109. He has a single already, an RBI single in that game. And Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 total bases, minus 120. He struck out looking in his first at-bat. And I bet that you documented the Freeman numbers. Ohtani, his numbers against Miami, the slash line in his last 10 games, 359, 479, 1,000, with 7 home runs, 17 RBIs, and 9 stolen bases.
Stolars could play Game 2. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's amazing.
What are we doing here? Don't listen to me. Look at the doctors on X. They said the guy is puking. Get him to the emergency room now.
And they turn around and play again tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Smarter bets start here. Last all year long with VSiN Pro. For a limited time, we're slashing the price of our annual subscription. Normally $240, now just $199. And when you sign up today, we'll throw in 2 extra months for free. 14 months of VSiN Pro access, less than 50 cents a day when you use promo code PRO. 14 months of access, every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits, DraftKings and Circa, the 24/7 live video and full show replays, plus the special edition betting guides like the Derby and all the guides we have. VSiN.com/subscribe. Code PRO. 14 months, $199, less than 50 cents a day. VSiN.com/subscribe. May have had 2. He got the puck to the head, and then he took the elbow to the head.
Yep. So I'll quickly do this. We're going to bring this back tonight. Paul started this when you were on vacation. Then I was out for a couple of days. Luke was gone for a couple of days. We're going to bring back the home run tracker. Tonight, Shohei Ohtani plus 250, 2 units on him. Now, again, it's been a couple of weeks here. The units on a home run bet are not necessarily as big as like a typical bet by me. And Nolan Arenado, 11-1 for a quarter unit to hit a home run against Paul Skeens. We'll update the overall numbers tomorrow. What are you seeing NBA game tonight? Because the point spread now on the Pacers is down to 5.5. Cavaliers laying that number. So you can probably guess, for those of you in the audience, what the news is.
They're all out.
All 3 guys are out.
No Garland, no Mobley, no Hunter. Oh, boy.
So the total comes down to 227.5, and right now Donovan Mitchell's points prop is now 32.5. Earlier this morning it was 27.5. Holy smokes.
What is going on with this guy? Stolarz might play tomorrow. Garland's missed 4 games with a toe injury. Come on.
So all 3 guys. Mamma mia.
Yep. Well, I know Indiana was unbelievable in game 1, but this goes back to why you don't tank games. And what Golden State did in Game 5, and that's just, you can't lay down, you got to bring it, playoff time, because injuries happen, a team can get hot, but this is so unfortunate that you go 64-18, you're the 1 seed, and now your season's on the line, and you're without 3 key players. Mitchell's got to be dynamite tonight. Then it's like, when are they going to play then? Like, how long are they out? Like, if Garland can't go now with the season on the line, when's he going to go?
Well, I'm not even going to speculate, so that doesn't matter. But the Pacers now, they absolutely cannot feel good about going to Cleveland and winning Game 1 and feeling comfortable about that. You got to put your foot on their throat tonight. You got to win this game.
Boy, what this does to the futures market now. In light of what happened with OKC and Boston going down, and now this news.
Well,
I mean, this really changes things.
Well, you got to be feeling good because you have the Pacers 19-1 to win the East.
Yeah,
this is a big break for you.
Series price, yeah. Series price as well. Boston's $1.15 to win the East. Cavs are 2-1.
Imagine you get Pacers-Knicks. I'm just talking about that's the ultimate break for you then.
Yeah, well, probably Pacers-Celtics though, but
a kid can dream. I'm dreaming for you, I guess.
OKC $1.35 to win the West. Looking at DraftKings.
Oh man!
And then to win the whole thing now, Boston. You're not going to get a better price on Boston plus 210.
And this is also probably the best time in weeks that you're going to get if you want to play an exacta on Oklahoma City and Boston to meet in the NBA Finals. Because that thing, any decent, it's still not a great number, but weeks ago you had to punt on that idea because both teams turned into such heavy favorites here.
The Pacers are 35-1 to win it all.
What are you seeing to win the East?
Those were close games. They blew Game 1 last year, and then Halliburton got hurt. But those were close games.
Are you still seeing double digits to win the East?
I got 9-1, but I'm on DraftKings. I'll look at Circa and the other spots too.
Even if you...
Boy, this stinks for Cleveland. Well, they can still win, but that's...
Of course they can. Of course they can. I mean, you put together this kind of a season that's this special with the 1 seed overall in the East, and you have this much talent, and you have the coach of the year who was able to do this and play a different style a little bit anyway and put it together for a full 82-game slate, and now, whammo. After, by the way, you cleaned the clocks of the Miami Heat in 4 games. And your reward now is to be down 1-0 and be without 3 of your best players. Well, we should be thinking about it's late now because numbers have changed, obviously, with that official news coming in.
Circa took down to win the East.
Who else is going to step up tonight for Cleveland? Do you want a little Sam Merrill action?
Strus? I'd rather have Strus.
Strus? Dean Wade?
No.
You got to dig deep here. Ty Jerome?
Yes.
I think I want a little piece of him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers back to 6 now at Circa. They got buyback on the Cavaliers.
Interested to see. The total comes down, but you don't have Mobley. I mean, Defensive Player of the Year's out, and the total comes down.
Yeah.
Maybe it's...
I think it's all that offensive production, maybe.
Well, they could be fat and happy. Job accomplished. Mission accomplished. Got the split, and they come out and the bombs away, and the threes aren't going in, and they get run out. But it's been a bizarre week of 10 days here in the NBA playoffs.
I'll tell you what. This if I'm Indiana, I'm Carlisle. I tell the guys, foot is on the gas from the opening tip. They're down 3 guys.
Yeah.
They took a major whack to the depth. Let's run this team out of the building. I'm trying to, think about going over 227.5. Guys, let's play at the fastest tempo we played at in more than a year. 1,000 miles an hour. Let's go right now. Make them keep up with us.
I do love the schedule now. I love that we got 4 o'clock and 6:30. That's how it should be. Yeah. NBA, NHL. It's awesome. Prime time coming up next. Tim Murray and Cashing Out Joe Cirallo, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. And then By the Books, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Brian Mahoney live from Boston tomorrow. Game 2, Knicks, Celtics. Also,
Jensen Lewis
on the show.
Tomorrow.
Yep, that'll be fun. And good baseball card as well. I think it's Skubal against Colorado, if memory serves, unless they going to throw Joe. Good luck tonight. Come on, Freddie. Get another hit. Go Oilers.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.